Very good evening. Leading our bulletin tonight, the Japanese government has officially handed over the first procurement of grant aid for the Economic and Social Development Program in Niue. This will assist in the development of infrastructure on the island. The Japanese ambassador, Kobayashi, made the official handover to the Premier Sir Toketa Langi with the amount of $1,250,000 at the airport's VIP lounge this morning. The ambassador says this is the first grant of this type given to Niue when Japan and Niue established diplomatic relations in 2015. It provides mainly for the procurement of heavy machinery such as excavators, dump trucks and wheel loaders, which were requested by Niue's government. The program aims to assist Niue's capability building to develop quality infrastructure, prevent natural disasters and ensure its sustainable economic development. UNDP plans to have a representative based in Niue. This was revealed by John Sorensen, the UNDP resident representative to Niue based in Samoa. Sorensen was in Niue to attend a 2-day Inception workshop on accelerating Niue's renewable energy application held last week, headed by the Ministry of Infrastructure, UNDP, and PMCU.
I really do envision the necessity of having somebody here that is an extended arm of the UNDP multi-country office from Samoa. But the fully funded United Nations volunteer will be working overall, not only with UNDP activities, but with UN activities. In addition to that, it seems now that a part of the UN reform that started early this year, the Resident Coordinator's Office, that is also covering the same 4 island nations, might be able to field a second or third person to help with the coordination of UN activities. Since this is not my domain, this is the Resident Coordinator's Office, so I can't talk too much about it, but I've seen some correspondence saying that there's efforts to make sure that there is a person placed in each of the countries that would help with the coordination of overall UN work, and we welcome that very, very much. We have very close collaboration with the Resident Coordinator's Office, and I think a lot of the things we are doing we couldn't do without that coordination and that support. So that would be something we would welcome. But as I said earlier, in addition to that, UNDP, we aim to have a separate UNDP extended arm here. So fingers crossed, we find the means, and we will be able to identify some governance projects in the foreseeable future. And so I was most encouraged by the meeting with both the Honourable Ministers, Honourable Premier, and with all the stakeholders, because there seems to be a great appetite for expanding our portfolio, not only looking at environmental issues and climate change issues, but looking at governance issues as well.
The New Zealand Scholarship selection process for 2020 intake is now at placement stage, with respective institutes pending outcomes of the end-of-the-year results for Year 13 students. This is according to the New Zealand High Commission. New Zealand scholarships are offered annually and are applied for online. The selection process commences with online application portal opening early March and closing a few weeks later. Candidates have the option to apply for study in regional campuses or in New Zealand. There are also short-term training scholarships open throughout the year for interested members of the Niue Public Service and those in the private sector. The duration of courses ranges from 1 week to 1 year. The High Commission states they did not send any candidates in the past year under this scholarship and are hoping those who are interested in applying would pay a visit to their office for assistance. And finally, the University of the South Pacific states it is currently facing financial challenges due to reduction and delays in receipt of grants this year. The Office of the Vice-Chancellor and the Executive Director of Finance stated that it is projected that not all grants outstanding would be received this year, which would have an impact on the university's ability to meet all its commitments this year. It is further anticipated that this would flow onto next year. It states that the senior management team has carefully considered the financial position and has made a number of decisions to protect the cash flow position within the short term and also ensure the long-term sustainability of the university. These are temporary measures only and will be reviewed from time to time depending on the receipts of the grants. And that's BCN News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.